This week on Worldwide Gaming,
Vince goes to bounce. I review Max Payne 3. We reveal the top 10 menaces to humanity.
John does a talkback in the streets of Los Angeles.
Hello and welcome to Worldwide Gaming. I'm your host Ryan.
I'm John.
I'm Vince.
And today we're actually showing one of the first videos we have from E3. Me and John went once. Sorry, Vince.
We only went once. We went one time.
I'd look after the kids, so...
You're actually doing something special today, aren't you, Vince?
Yeah, me and a few people are going to bounce, and we're going to see how that compares up to Mirror's Edge.
Oh, I'm still sore after that. Like, when you watch that, you'll find out why I was asking if our company had insurance against drowning in foam pits.
Is that kind of payback? I didn't get to go. I had to stay at work that time.
Yeah, I guess it's even, I guess.
Yeah, we're kind of even, I guess.
Yeah,
But
I suffered for that one the most.
before we go to bounce, though, we actually got the forecast, so let's cut to that.
Looking towards the Caribbean first, and a strong wind is pushing Assassin's Creed 4 across all consoles and PC October 29. Young adventurers are advised to start their journeys in October with Pokemon X and Y versions coming to the Nintendo 3DS.
Welcome to the Carlos region.
The skies are clear for Call of Duty Ghosts to launch November 5 on all consoles and PC.
So that was the forecast, guys. Assassin's Creed 4. It's actually looking kind of good.
Oh, I'm so excited for it. Like, I've still got to finish Assassin's Creed 3 though. I'm about halfway through it.
One thing I'm confused about is, you know, there was this thing ages ago about pirates versus ninjas. Now the ninjas are assassins but pirates at the same time.
It's kind of the same
I'll
thing,
just leave it.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, the way they've set it up kind of makes a lot of sense. Like, you know, I don't know about the whole stealth bit with pirates. I've always imagined pirates to be a bit more gung-ho than, you know, sneaking over the...
There's a special breed of pirates, the stealth pirates.
Yeah, that's
right?
true, the stealth pirates. They're the ones that you don't know about in history because they kill the guy who wrote that bit of history.
And I don't mean to alarm you guys, but newsflash, new Pokemon game and a new Call of Duty game coming out.
Oh my God!
What?
Honestly,
Did not see that coming.
Yeah,
Never
like,
heard of it.
as a fan of the Pokemon games, though, like I could not care less about the new ones. Like they're like, oh my God, guys, it's in a new dimension. It's like, who cares?
When was the last Pokemon game you played?
Bloody Gold.
All right.
Gold version. No, it was Sapphire actually. Yeah.
All right, so how about we cut to my Max Payne 3 review?
The doors had been chained shut. I didn't need my Portuguese for Beginners phrase book to work out what was going on. The guy making the noise was the boss. He was sending them around to cut me off from the other side. And sure enough, a few seconds later, I had some company on the dance floor.
Max Payne 3 is proof of Rockstar's excellent form as of late. Being the first Max Payne game not created by Remedy Entertainment, there was a lot riding against Rockstar. However, I think they've walked a fine line between keeping the game connected to its roots and creating their own unique take on the franchise. We start the game seeing Max in a sorry state. Since the events of Max Payne 1 and 2, he has fled to Brazil and taken up a private security job for one of the richest families in Sao Paulo. After all that he's been through, such as the death of his wife and daughter, he's a very broken man and needs to deal with his self-hatred through alcoholism and painkillers addiction. This plays well into the cutscenes of the game, gone into graphic novel style, and in its place is the in-engine ones with the kind of glitchy, blurry filter as they play.
These girls bad. Or maybe they just assumed the Broncos security team consisted of more than a drunk American has-been and a Brazilian never was who should have paid more attention in flying school. We'd come in here to hide, not very successfully as things turned out.
Freeze!
When Max isn't drowning his sorrows, the cutscenes show a lot more cinematic action and some pretty beautiful looking locations.
went to nightclubs.
Any game
and
that makes the
helicopters.
favelas look good definitely needs
Fabiana
credit.
had brought her
Generally, the
sister
game is
along,
pretty good looking, however there's some small
presumably
graphical
so she
glitches
could
and
show off
unusual
just how
movements
rich and
that can
empty her
sometimes take you
life
out of the
was.
game, although they're very few and far between. On the other hand, there are a lot of small touches that are really welcome, such as Max's inventory. Since Max only wears 2 gun holsters, you only have room for 2 one-handed weapons and 1 larger weapon, which you'll need to drop if he ever pulls out both one-handed weapons at the same time. The shooting is just what you think it would be. You still have the trademark bullet dodge, and you can manually activate it in a pinch. If you play this game on consoles, I highly recommend that you play with free aim on, which won't automatically target enemies when looking near them. Even on normal difficulty, the game provided a good challenge with free aim, and it's pretty clear the game wants you to play like this. Unusually, there is also a multiplayer aspect to the game, which has somehow managed to incorporate the bullet dodge mechanic into it. It's a standard class-based multiplayer, however the sheer amount of customization options and game modes means it will probably take up a bunch of your time, and even now there isn't much difficulty finding the game. At a time where third-person shooters are the new black, Max Payne stands out as a very polished, challenging, and overall fun game to play. The shooting is tight, the cutscenes are mostly stunning, and even the multiplayer is a nice distraction from the lengthy single player. If I could sum it up in one sentence, if you haven't played it yet, no matter whether or not you played the previous games, do it.
Sooner or later, I'd have to go out there and see what was happening.
So guys, I said in episode 1 that I'm going to be recommending games that are a bit older, but that you actually really need to play. And I think Max Payne 3 is definitely one of those games.
Absolutely. Like, I'm a huge Max Payne fan. I loved 1, I loved 2. And when I looked at 3, I wasn't too sure. Because, you know, the first 2 games were set in the gritty, mean streets of New York sort of a thing, and had that really dark sense of humor, right? I loved that. And then it was, suddenly it's South America. Suddenly he's bald. Suddenly he's doing protection for people. It's like, what? I thought they were just flushing it down the toilet. But after seeing that review, though, I've got to go pick that up right now.
Number 1 was definitely one of probably the most twisted games that I played at the time.
Yeah.
And then number 2, I'm like, yeah, this is still pretty good. Number 3, I haven't played it, but when I saw it, I'm like, this is not Max Payne. But that's just
Well, this one's the first one done by Rockstar. Since it's the first one, I really think you need to at least try it out.
give him a shot.
I wasn't the biggest Max Payne 1 and 2 fans. I was never like that into PC, but like this definitely caught me, if you will. But now it's time to cut to the break. Stay tuned for John's Top 10.